Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tuber? Cesario from the barrio coming back at you with another video for your butt. And today I'm making a video response for the hashtag most beautiful cards. Alright, for Eric Four Leaf Clover. Four leaf cards. He gave me this dice, or die, I guess is singular. Super sweet. Alright, so what he wants is for his hashtag most beautiful cards contest, show like what you, in your opinion, are the five most beautiful cards. This is one of those things where they could change day by day, but the number one card pretty much stays the same for me. All right, so but I'm gonna go in a chronological order backwards from the most recent one. One of the most recent cards that just kind of had an effect on me was this Hocus Pocus Derek Jeter. All right, look at that. I think that's beautiful, man. If you follow my channel for a long time, when I first started on YouTube, but still to that day, I wasn't so fond of shiny cards. I remember I used to call them the Elton John cards, and they just weren't for me. I was digging the vintage, that I wish I had as a kid, and I wasn't paying attention too much to these shiny cards. But I saw somebody do this, show a Hocus Pocus card, and I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Derek Jeter, but it was somebody else in somebody else's PC. And I was like, wow, that card looks super cool. But then, in a dollar box, I saw it, this Derek Jeter. And I was like, what? It's in the dollar box? This is only a dollar card? Like in my head, I don't know why I just pictured this being like a $60 card. But it's so amazing. Look at all the colors. Look at how the colors change, all right? You get green, you get yellow, you get blue, you get orange. There's like a difference in the center of all these. I mean, you get all this shine. If you look carefully, you get some like little stars and jingles in there. And you see that little circle right there? Oh, that's so badass. It reminds me of, the 53 cars that had that circle, the 63, the 73, the 83, the 93. Oh, wait! The 93 let me down because they didn't have that circle. Like I used to always predict in the kid in the 80s, I was thinking, oh, the 93 is going to have that circle too. It happens every 10 years. But it didn't. But this card right here really turned me on to the shiny cards. Because before that, really, they just weren't for me. Look at that. Oh, my lordy. All right, so on to the next card, which is this Bo Jackson. All right, 90 score. Look at the back. All it says is Bo. That's all you need. I mean, if at the time, man, Bo Jackson was like the greatest thing. Flippers would have had a, what would you call it? Whatever, field day. Pumping and dumping these cards right here. But yeah, it was like the first card that I ever seen, a baseball player wearing football gear, because he was in the NFL and MLB. Man, look at the difference between these two cards. Just totally different, but both of them are beautiful to me. This one right here, I mean, look at the art. You know what I mean? It's black and white. No color. It's just spectacular. I don't know why everybody loved it. I mean, I don't even know why I loved it. Maybe I'm deeply closeted and I'm a little gay. I don't know, man. It's just such a beautiful card, man. All right. And then next, the year before that, this future star, Greg Jeffries. All right. Everybody back then was chasing Jeffrey. I know a lot of people now like to say they were chasing Griffey, but I think the number one chase in '89 was actually Greg Jeffries. But then, obviously, Ken Griffey became who he was, and Greg Jeffries didn't have as high as touted as a career he was supposed to. Still good, still really good. But one of the reasons this card always, like, I was so amazed by it when it first came out is because of that future star. And you see how that those things that go to the side, like the background on it. I was a tagger. I used to do graffiti, and I was kind of plain. I was really plain, and let me show. So one of the reasons why that card affected me so much, and I thought it was so badass, was because, like, say I would watch like Beach Street, and you could see on the train graffiti stuff, and there was no books to teach you on graffiti, so I would like see the trains on say like Beach Street and other movies, but when you would pause it back then, it was VHS. You would pause it, it would come out blurry. So that was the first time I was like, oh, I saw something. So my name was, I used to tag Crim, which was short for criminal. So this just for a quick example, like say this is the letter K. So that's how I would do it. But then once that card came out, it taught me, like, I started doing this. Oh, and that just took my level, my tagging to another level, basically. So that's kind of why I have that card. To me always sticks out. Then I would do the R. Whatever. But obviously, that's why that card still always sticks to me in my head. And oh my god, I probably should have done that in my last video. Now I understand. I do understand, like, Victor, the rookie card specialist, how he says, like, because I also missed out on since my video wasn't scripted, I forgot about my hobby of collecting records of comic books and tagging. And tagging is probably like my *1 hobby, actually, back in the day. All right, so now we're going a little bit further back in time. Oh, let me straighten this out. To another card, and this is the 1957 Topps Mickey Mantle. And this is one of the other most, and why this strikes me so much. All right. So the 57 Mickey Mantle, you probably don't see anything different unless you know the story already, which most vintage collectors will. But if you're newer, you see right here, like, you see the leg, the body, the head. All right, that was airbrushed out. All right, but when I was a kid, I remember hearing the story that was Babe Ruth's ghost. So man, this card intrigued me forever. I was like, whoa, look at, they actually captured a ghost. Like, they captured a ghost in real life. But so conspiracy theories always said that was the ghost of Babe Ruth. But when I did research when I was older, when I got this card, I found out that Topps simply just airbrushed the maintenance worker. So there was a maintenance worker in the background, and they airbrushed them out. Obviously, if it was just a player, another player, they wouldn't have. But it would happen to be a maintenance worker that happened to walk on to the picture. So they just airbrushed them out. So yeah, it's not the ghost of Babe Ruth. But that's why I love this card. It captured my imagination for years until I found that out. And my #1 card, should be no surprise. It should be a lot of people's, because truly is, to me, the most beautiful card. All right, and that's the 53 Bowman Color Pee Wee Reese. I do not have this card. All right, look at, everybody else has all this writing about the cards themselves. You know what I mean? But this one has really simple. When art meets sport, you get something really beautiful. And I do truly believe this is one of the most beautiful cards ever. And I don't own it yet. And it's not like I couldn't afford it, or that's just too out of my league. Actually, I don't know what it goes for anymore. I ran into this card across at the National a year and a half ago when I went. But, I mean, this is one of the cards I could look at all day. It's like, look how he slide. How he's belly up. And I watch a lot of videos like of people sliding back in the old days, and they would start on their hip and slide to the front. I don't think I see anybody do that anymore. But then look at Pee Wee Reese jumping in the air to throw to first. Look at the height, the air he's got. All right. And then look at where he's at. He's at the recoil. You know, right before the firing pin hits the baseball, and he just fires it at first. You can see his whole entire uniform, you know, so you know he's a Dodger. Not only that, like the timing of it and the height of it, because there's a white, you know, fence right here. And if he would have been just a little bit lower, and those white pants and knees were like at the fence, it just wouldn't be, the contrast wouldn't be as great as it is right now. You know, instead his knees are right at the trees, so you could see his pants, and you know, tell that his legs are behind him perfectly. If he would have just been a little bit lower, that kind of would have taken away from it. But everything is just so perfect in this picture, man. I had and I did have a chance to buy it at the National, and I didn't because I ended up buying the George Brett rookie. But this is my, I gotta get this card. I just think it's so beautiful, man. Look at it. Look at it. But anyways, 4-leaf cards. There's my video for you. Love the hobby. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. And I'll put a link below to a 4-leaf cards channel. Alright? Ciao. Keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. Don't show your feet. Excuse me, mister. Can I have your John Hancock? Go deep. Yes. Hi, I am Dustin Abraham from the CFFL. And I am Pepino Man from the Dodgers Grounds Crew. And while these may not be cards, they are still beautiful. An honorable mention, this Doc Ellis. Alright guys, I'll leave the link below to Eric, alright? So, check him out. Check you later! Check you later! Check you later!